Here we go. Hello, everybody. Hey, Al. How you doing, buddy?
Hey man, good to see you. How you been?
I'm doing good.
Crazy day, right? Man,
Absolutely.
you heard what how my day was like. I need little Vino to help me out.
Yeah. Is Timmy okay?
Yeah, everything's good except for one of my cars that I had sold is no longer available to be sold.
Uh-oh.
So, so and life goes on. Nothing happened to him. That's the main thing.
Yeah, that's the main thing right there.
So it looks like we got a good crowd in here so far. Who do we got in here?
Yeah, they're rolling in. I want to say congratulations to Ray Kelly. Had his first live stream. Good job. I was there. Who else we got in here? Third Eye View. Eckert
Yep.
Show. I always say his name wrong. Who else is in here? Got Sergio, Fly Zone Drones. Got Alan here. Who
Yep,
else?
I'm in here.
Yeah,
Yep,
we're
yep,
getting in
yep.
here. Everybody's starting to come in. There's Maddie. There we go. Okay,
So
I tell you what,
guys,
let's go ahead and bring our guest in now.
yeah, so guys, I was just getting ready to say, Robbie, before I interrupted you, it's like if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, hit it, man. YouTube likes it. So you guys know Bryan Singleton. He has two very successful platforms that he runs. One of them is TRD Drones and E-Bikes, and the other one is TRD Drones and I forgot, just e-bikes also on the Facebook group. So without any further ado, let's have Bryan join us.
Hey,
Hey,
Brian.
Hey,
hey,
yeah.
hey. Good to see you, man. How is it going over there in Pittsburgh?
Oh, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, the
I'm
weather is
having
that.
so much fun I can't stand it.
So yeah, like this weather, right? It's just
Yeah, it's it.
fabulous.
Oh,
I know, man. We had a huge rainstorm coming here. And I was going to the junkyard like a big idiot and it started raining. I just like turned around and came right back. I was like,
yeah.
there's no way to walk around in
Me
mud
and Al,
and
me and Al have a lot of fun at that junkyard. We got some stories we could tell on that.
Yeah,
So
well,
Brian,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead now.
No, I interrupted you. Please.
No, I was going to say, you know, it sucks trying to fly these drones in the rain. For the most part, you can't do it. Okay. But, last year I went and bought that waterproof drone, one of those splash drones. And I said, well, I have this thing, so now I can never get shut out. So if I go somewhere and it rains, I can just whip this sucker out and at least get a video made. But you know what? Standing out there in the rain, I did it one time. Standing out there in the rain, it sucks. Okay.
It does. That's when
Okay.
you go in the car and fly from your car. You know what I mean? You don't go out there.
Yeah. Standing out in the rain, and even if you have a waterproof drone, it sucks standing out there being rained on. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
it, that,
know, right?
that really didn't work out too well.
Oh, I know, man. S- so yeah, so guys, what do you guys want to hear from Brian? Drop us a comment in the chat, man. Let us know what you want to hear from Brian, I'm just gonna kick it off. Just say, hey, man, what's your favorite drone to fly besides your Aspire or your Mavic 2 Pro? What is the one you throw in your bag if you could only take one drone with you? Which one is it?
That's going to be the Mini too.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I take that with me everywhere.
Is it because it's stealthy or is it
It's
because the
it's
flight time?
it's just the deployment.
Yeah,
The deployment of those drones is so simple and
yeah.
so easy just to get it into the air.
And
It's less than a minute.
agreed. And there's another thing that I really love about it is reliable.
Right.
You know
That
what I mean?
Mini
You can
2,
count
I
on it.
made a video a couple of years ago about how I was sitting in my car and I said, okay, guys, I'm going to drive up to this stop. How fast can I get out of my car and get this drone in the air from the thing in the case sitting in the front seat of my car? It was really quick. It was really quick.
Yeah, that's one of those
Yeah,
that if you see an accident or a train coming by, you can throw it up and get it up in the air
right.
quick.
And the thing about it is, you can even say you have it say you have it in the front seat of your car. Say you have your Mini 2 and the controller right there in the front seat of your car. Okay, just for an example. Well, you can stop your car, jump out of the car, throw the Mini 2 on the ground. You can take it off. Don't even hook up the app. Hook up the app while you got it going a little bit. Then you can hook up the app while it's in the air. You don't even have to do that first. You can.
Yeah, you're right about that. I forgot you could.
After you get it up in the air. You
Have
don't
you
have
tried?
to do that right away.
Have you tried throwing it yet and see what happens?
No, I haven't done that yet.
Hey, I'd like to see that video.
Yeah, I have never crashed. Hey, Chris is in here. Hey, Chris. I haven't had any crashes on any of my DJI products, and I have lots of DJI drones. I've never crashed one.
Yeah, I mean, the one unfortunate situation that happened with you is you ended up losing your little parrot out there, right?
Yeah. That just landed on its own. I didn't.
Yeah.
It just.
Yeah. And Robbie, we know all about that drone landing all on its own in water, right?
Yep, absolutely. 2 ways. But it did happen to me one time. I ran the battery down too low. You remember when I was flying the Spark and I almost landed in the water?
Mm-hmm.
But Al usually lands his in like trees, and we got to like physically climb the trees.
Yeah, no, that was only my Phoebe X8 SE.
You were lucky on that. You were lucky on that.
We're lucky we spotted it because what we ended up doing, Brian, is just kind of flying to Xeno 2 in the same location where the Femi had kind of got itself stuck in a tree.
Yeah.
You notice I said got itself stuck in a tree, not
yeah,
I got it stuck there. Anyway, and the Xeno spotted it when we brought it back home. We did the forensic analysis, and there it is. Hey, my gosh, there it is.
Yeah, right.
And the luckiest thing happened. A big old storm blew in that night and blew it out of the tree. I got up before the sunrise and drove there, and there it was, laying on the ground.
Yeah, but if I remember, Al, I think you called me at like 5:30, and you said, "Hey, man, got a problem. I want you to go with me to help get my drone. Where is it? It's the top of a tree." So we're looking for it, trying to figure out what it is, and we think it's missing. So we take one of his other drones up and focused in, and sure enough, it was there. We went out to try to get some help and find it, and we came back, and we thought it fell, and somebody picked it up. So Al actually went back, that night or the next morning, Al?
The next morning, yeah.
And it was laying at the bottom of the tree.
Yeah, well, you found that Femi that one time by the railroad tracks, didn't you?
Yeah, man.
That's the Femi. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the same one that got stuck in the tree, dude.
Was it? Okay.
It ended up breaking his nose piece and another arm, and I replaced all that. And it's still flying. Yeah. It's having a little bit of gimbal issues now, but heck, that thing is like. It's had like 3.5 years of rough life.
Yeah,
well,
it's the Bondo.
My experience with those Femis is that that gimbals don't like the cold.
Yeah, it is talking about Jello to the max.
Yeah, plus it blurs up the video. I remember a couple of years ago, during the winter, I kept trying to figure out why the video looked like crap, and that's what it was. Somebody told me, said that. Those Femi drones, the gimbals don't like the cold at all.
They don't. It must be the density of the silicone, gummies that they put in. And so, you know what their fix was to get rid of some of the Jello? Take off one of the gummies. Instead of 4, run on 3 gummies.
Yeah.
That was their solution, so it wouldn't vibrate. It got twitchy, All right, so tell us about your Aspire. What have you been doing with that? You've been making money with that? Do you still have it?
My Inspire.
Don't you have a...
I have an Inspire.
Yeah.
I love it. Just don't get a chance to fly it that much.
It's a big production or what?
It's got a big footprint. To lug it around and all that. I don't know. I like the drone. It flies great. Don't get me wrong. It flies nice. But it's just such a big production just to get it out there and get it in the air.
Yeah. It's just like trying to get 4 people to the beach at the same time.
Right. I mean, it works great with the Litchi app, which is way better with that thing than the DJI app. The Litchi app works way better with that because, you got your waypoints and all that other mumbo jumbo. And then it's got the follow me and all this stuff that the regular DJI app doesn't have. a lot of the features that the Lychee app has. So
Well, that Lychee app ran real well on the Spark that I gave to Robbie.
I used it on the Spark many times. Yeah,
And the waypoints was fabulous.
right. And
Spot on.
works great with the Mavic Air, the first one. Works
Yeah.
great with that. So yeah, that Lychee app, to me, it's really worth the $24.
It is overvalued. I mean, not
Yeah.
overvalued. It's undervalued. It's
Right.
definitely.
$24 is just that's nothing. That's a drop in the bucket. To what that thing can do that the other apps can't do.
Oh, okay.
DJI
QC was saying that it's got 6 dampers, but you remove one of the dampers that you can see, QC. The other ones you can't see, I believe. They're hidden under there. Pretty good. Yeah, so that was your fix. Take off one of the gummies, and that'll get rid of your jello. But if you turn your gain down a little bit on your gimbal, it would work. But you had to go in there and kind of mess with the curve, Brian.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny Drone Flyer's here. Hey, Johnny.
I just won't fly it in the cold. How about that? I have other options. Yeah.
Well, is that a keeper for you?
What, the Femi?
Yeah.
Oh, I still have the Femi. I have the first one, the X8 SE. I have that one. Flies great. It's got great range. The thing flies far.
I know.
Yeah.
And, Fred Johnson for 80K Drones NRC, he's over in the Adirondacks, right? And so he gets up on top of that mountain and just lets it rip. And that thing's hit like 26,000 feet for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It got great transmission.
It outflew the Air 2S.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really good for the range, and that it's very sturdy, and it's very good in the wind. So I mean, I'm keeping that sucker. I'm not.
You remember the review Captain Drone said? He said it's just a freaking flying brick, guys. If you think about it, when you close it up and you look at it, it's a freaking brick.
Yeah, it's durable, no doubt. No doubt, it's durable. I just wasn't happy with the camera because. It was really good when I first got it, and I did this firmware update. It sent the camera in the garbage can. The camera blurred all up on me, and for about 6 months, I couldn't do nothing with it. And then finally, they put out another update, and then it cleared it all up. So,
yeah,
I was kind of disappointed that I couldn't use the damn thing for 6 months.
Yeah.
So I just went and used something else.
Yeah.
So your go-to, what do you have for just your go-to drone? If you're just going to go fly, the Mini, or what do you use?
The Mini 2.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I use. That's my ace in the hole right there.
Yeah, I was a little shocked that when they did the Air 2S that they didn't put the zoom in the photos. They just put it in the video. I was a little sad about that because you figured they would do it in both. And I thought my remote wouldn't work. And I was like, how come I can't do it with a picture, but I can do it with a video? Because you would think it would be harder on the camera doing it with a video instead of the photo. But
I had a really weird experience last week when I took the Mini 2 out. And so, the DJI, the app stopped me. I got into like a Class D. I think it said Class D airspace.
okay.
And it's not that it wouldn't let me go up higher. It wouldn't let me go out further.
So the geofencer was doing his job, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean it wouldn't go out further? The camera or the drone?
No, the drone wouldn't go out further.
Okay.
It's what happened to
go higher. I can make it go higher.
Like it geo-fenced your distance a little bit or something?
Oh, yeah. It said return. It said return or land. That's what and since I was over water, I said, I better come back.
It kind of what happened was we were filming the Dominion Power building takedown. So we were really, we did our homework. We flew the route we were going to fly today. They were going to do this building demolition. But we both updated our firmware the night before. And in that firmware update, it geofenced us from going to the building we had flown the previous day.
Yeah.
So everybody else was in there but us.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we were
whenever
like,
I get ready to post that video, I'll send you an email and let you know that video, so you can see it on the, because I have the screen recording, inside the other recording, and you can see where it says turn back or land. It says one of the others. I said, okay, I'm going back.
well,
So,
you want to do some advertising for it? Do you want to play
no,
the video?
because I don't know when I'm going to post it. I've got
Okay.
like 150 videos on private, so I don't know when it's coming up.
It's pretty filled up queue, right? Got
Yeah.
it.
Well, we have a lot of
I'm
people
sorry.
talking. We have a lot of people talking about the geofencing, and one of the experience that I had was down in Virginia Beach. It's close to the naval stations and all that. So there's a
Which
lot
one?
of area. Yeah, there's a lot of areas that you can't fly. So I went out on the pier to fly, and when I went to take off, I got a warning, and it said if I want to fly, I can ask for permission. Of course, it had my cell phone number where I had registered the drone, and I hit send, and it went over. And then they replied back with like an 8-digit number. But here's the issue. It didn't put it in the software automatically. You had to enter it. So when you close that to click on the screen to type it in, if you forgot it, you'd have to re-ask for it because it's like it was not in there. Now, last week I went to fly, and in the app this time it asked me 3 questions. One of them was, you have permission to fly in this area. The second one was like, we want to be able to send your location information in to FAA. It had like 3 questions. So I checked them all and hit request to fly. And when I did, the number came directly in the app and opened up, and I was able to fly. So it was putting it in automatically now compared to before. Last year on the Air 2, it wouldn't do that. You had to manually put it in.
Wow, that's great. You imagine how many people must have nagged them to get them to move into action?
But I flew in the same area, and I did it with a Phantom a month ago. And when you were talking about flying the drone out that far, when I flew the Phantom one time, when you connect it in, you actually connect in the Wi-Fi to the name Phantom on the standard, the Phantom 3. If you don't do that and you leave it off, it'll geofence you. So I was like, I can't get the drone to go any further. It would go up so high and so far out. And then when I looked down in my Wi-Fi and realized it was in the list and added it, it unlocked it, would let me go. So, you got to keep an eye on some of that geofence and stuff.
Well, I wonder if that V-copter is going to have any of that. I hope not.
I wonder what it'd fly if you automatically took out one of those engines, to see if you freaking.
Well, I don't want to
home like this,
I don't want to find out.
Has anybody done any reviews on that, Brian, that you know of?
Well, just that one guy. Just that one guy has it, as far as I know.
Well, is that Ali?
It's Alibaba.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I call him.
Let's call him Alibaba. Okay.
That's what I call him. I don't give a shit what they say.
I'll say this: a lot of people don't understand that. Like Asia will get. I live in Thailand, so they can get it. Indonesia gets it. China gets it. They get it 3 weeks before we get it in their hands. And everybody said, "Well, if that's true, how come all these people in China don't do it?" Facebook, number one, the social medias over there, they're blocked through the network. Yes, you can use a VPN and get in them, but trust me, you don't want to be seen on a live stream because that government will lock you up.
China has their own Facebook and their own YouTube.
Right, but they are not allowed to use ours because when I'm there, my office is like, I'm like, hey, do this, or like, we got to use VPN, and they go under with VPN, but they're like, we don't do that because we would be seen. So that's why they're not doing that. So, but I'm, as an American citizen, my plan is when I go back and these new drones come out, trust me, I'm an hour and a half flight for $30. I'm gonna be right there at DJI when the door opens with the Chinese getting that drone.
Why does Alibaba get to do it? Isn't he in China?
Well, it's not really where you're located. I think what it is what your citizenship is. Okay. So I'm an American, so I can do that and be on social media. But as a Chinese citizen there, you are not allowed to use that social media. You cannot use it. It's illegal. My whole office, I've had an office there for 12 years. I have a web design company. And a lot of the stuff that we have to do with VPNs, they will not do it. They won't do it.
Yeah.
To answer your question, What was your question, man? Oh, Ali is an Iranian. He's from Iran.
Yeah, I know where he's from, but where does he live?
But
'Cause
I think
swear
he's
he
in
lives
China. Yeah, he's in China.
Then why does he get to use YouTube and do all that crap?
Well,
Because he's
he's not,
Iranian.
it's not really where he lives. Like I said, it's back to where you're a citizen from. None of
Oh,
my
okay.
employees can do it. I can go over
Yeah,
there in
he's
my
not
apartment and do it.
He's not a Chinese nationalist, as I should
Right.
have said. Okay, so
Right. Okay.
let's just say he's not a Chinese national, so
Right.
therefore he could do it. So he's not throttled.
So there's probably a lot of
Well,
people over there in China that have this thing, but he's the only one that can make a YouTube video.
Well,
right, pretty much
Right.
the deal, dude.
The Chinese are afraid of the government on that. I know my guys are. They're like, Robbie, sorry, we can't. Because I was like, do it. They're like, we can't do it. We can buy it and send it to you early, or you can get
Well,
one.
you know what? They probably feel like it's not worth being executed for.
Oh, absolutely.
Like with a drone, Robbie. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Here, I can give Robbie this drone and
That's
get
right.
my head chopped off, or I cannot do that, so
Yeah.
I won't.
Well,
Okay.
it cost me $30 for a round trip ticket from Bangkok, and then I will land in Hong Kong, go through a 15-minute drive through the border into Shenzhen. It's one road, and I'm there. I mean, it is physically, the building is right there. So just go there, pay $15 a night for the hotel, stay a couple of days, go shopping, bring back a couple drones.
You know they're going to increase that price because of COVID for sure.
what?
So I see a comment in here from D&D Ariel. Says Autel is going geofence. Okay. Well, here's the deal. They don't have a choice.
Yeah,
With
they're
these
U.S.
new-
manufacturer.
You know, everybody, I hear all these people talking about, well, Autel and this company doesn't do it and that company doesn't do it. They're all going to do it. They don't have a choice. It's either they're going to do it or they can't sell their product.
Yep.
Well,
I mean,
did you see the announcement?
Laws are coming to. So people are just
Sorry.
going to have to deal with it, that everybody is going to have to do this if they want to sell drones in the United States, period.
Well, did you see the announcement from our, oh gosh, who was it? The FCC had said that he's going to recommend that DJI go on the blacklist. So they're
Right, but that don't mean they're going to do it.
No.
He's
that's what
recommending that.
He's
Right.
recommended that.
And they did pass the House like 403 to 4. Okay, so that it did pass.
Yeah, just barely.
Yeah, 403 to 4. I would not call that just barely. Okay, so that means he's convinced a lot of these House members that they're up to no good.
Oh,
See,
you didn't get my humor, Brian. I was
Yeah, I know. I did get your
sorry.
humor. I saw you, but that still doesn't mean that they can't have some kind of last minute negotiation.
I agree.
I still think that something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Just like the thing with TikTok. Remember when TikTok was supposed to get shut down on that Sunday, and that was the end. And then all of a sudden, some miraculous deal happened at the last minute.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's called lobbyist.
Well, there's a lot of money involved here. Whenever there's a lot of money involved, deals get made and things happen. Okay, there's billions and billions and billions of dollars happening here. Mm-hmm. So something's going to wind up happening, I believe. I don't think they're going to go on the list.
So, Brian, do you think that we need to all pitch in and send our lobbyists free DJI drones?
I think that the lobbyist is already getting those.
Yeah,
okay.
Agreed.
Drone
already getting
says here that
stuff.
Drones in Europe without geofencing now. So you can't sell them in Europe now without geofencing.
Right. So everybody out there that has an Autel, an Evo, the first Evo, and any of these other drones, expect these updates as this law gets closer and closer to coming into effect. All these drones are going to get updated, and they're all going to lock the geofence in. And that's just the way it's going to be. And we just have to live with it.
The only way we can get around that is just don't update your firmware, guys.
Right.
And so if you like your firmware, just keep it there.
Some of them won't let you fly it without
updating
the firmware. I know the Skydio won't, because goddamn thing that pissed me off so bad. I sat there and checked it in the morning last week. I checked it in the morning.
4 gig in the afternoon. Yeah.
No firmware update. Went and took it out to some spot. I was going to make a video, turned it on. Oh, update required. Can't take off. See, that just grinds on my last nerve.
And it takes a whole battery.
Nerve. Can't you just let me fly and do the update later? You're going to sit there and lock me? I'm out in the middle of this. I was on this river. I was going to fly to Skydio. Oh, I was mad as a hornet.
Oh, because you know what? We do that all the time with the other manufacturers, and it's just, I skip updating. I went up, flew my little, not FEMI, the Xeno Mini Pro, and it wanted to update again. There's no friggin' way I'm doing an update, because the update on that thing, you got to do is you got to take your phone and hook it up directly to the controller. I'm sorry, you got to hook it up. You take up your phone and hook it up directly to the back of the drone.
Yeah.
That's your firmware update. So
yeah, great. Just like that cockamamie first Xeno with that,
the first one
and all that BS they had. You remember that?
Yeah. Had to be updated with the computer. Yeah.
I don't think I would ever. I think I must have watched QC guy's video 13 times to be able to do that the first time.
I know, it sucks. Well, I tell you what, the Mini Pro, you have to take your phone and hook it up directly to the quad. Yeah. It was firmware update. You got sure, and he goes, "Okay, hook up directly to the quad." You're like, seriously?
Well, there's got to be a There's got to be a video. There's got to be a video out there somewhere, because I don't think I would have ever been able to get through that Xeno original update without Chris. I think he saved a lot of people on that deal.
I agreed. I mean, and a lot of people love the Xeno because of the fact that that was kind of like the turning point where I pre-ordered that thing. I was one of the first to got it. Ron got it. Marcus got it. Probably QC got it too. At the time, I didn't know QC, so I was watching who was getting it, and and we're just flying the heck out of that thing.
Yeah,
and that thing came out of the factory in sports mode. You could not lower it into regular, P mode or whatever calm mode. Right out of the bat, it was in sports mode. So and it was wild.
I think the thing about the Xeno, why I think that the original Xeno was successful was the original Xeno was the first toy manufacturer drone that could compete and look decent against a DJI or something like that.
Well, it was fun to fly.
Companies all made toys, MJX, Hubson, and all these. These were toy makers, but Hubson was the first toy maker that stepped forward and said, "Hey, I'm going to try to make something better. We're going to try to compete with these guys, even though they didn't, but they tried."
Yeah, it to make it even better incentive to purchase that Xeno was the fact that it was 3-axis gimbal and 4K.
Right.
But at release time, 4K was not active.
Right.
Or the 60 frames a second weren't active. I bought it for the 1K 60 frames a second. Because I wanted 6C to track bikes and kayakers at the time. And that was like $300. I'm in. I bought 3 batteries with it. You know what really pissed me off about Hubson, though? I mean, really pissed me off. I won the photography contest. And they were supposed to send me, I won first place. And on their Facebook group, they said, "Hey, you're going to get this, this, and that." I was like, "Great." And they started emailing and gave me my address. And then you remember when they shut down the West Coast office? And I forget the little Andy. Andy was the girl that did the software updates for us. Remember, we used to bug her and make a video about this all the time.
They left one or two people working in there. I don't know.
Yeah, they hacked that whole group. I was so pissed off. That really pissed me off. That was no fun. Oh, look at that. Darth.
Well, Doc Murdoch saw, everybody, his saying is come to the dock side. So I found this cup. And we need to put his name, come to the dock side.
Yeah, he does need those to sell, Robbie. All right, man. So, what's your favorite e-bike to ride? What's going on with the e-bikes? What are you doing with those things?
Well, when I started out with that crap, I did the bikes first, okay? But then once I bought my first scooter, I was all in on them.
Oh, no way. You
Scooters,
like the scooters better?
the scooters are way more fun. They're
Okay.
way more fun.
In what way? Give us your insight.
The speed and the power. These e-bikes they have these limits, these legal limits.
Yeah.
That they have on these where they can only go, 20 miles an hour for these state laws. But these scooters, I got that one scooter that'll go 40. I got a couple that'll go over 30. I got 4 kind of high-end scooters.
What do you do? I must admit, I haven't watched any of your scooters reviews. But
That's okay. You don't have to.
Because I'm not.
Right. It's not you. You don't think it. That's fine. That's great.
No, I dig riding the heck out of them. And the first chance I get, I jump on those things. They have them all over Richmond.
There's laws on the
side of the road.
There's laws on the bikes for speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're in classes. They're
class 1, 2, 3.
Right. Class 1 can only go to 14 miles an hour. Now, don't get me wrong. It's within a mile an hour of these numbers, right?
Right.
So class 1 is 13, 14, 15 miles an hour. Then class 2, which in Pennsylvania, that's it. Class 2 is 20 miles an hour or 19 miles an hour. And then class 3 is 28 miles an hour.
What governs the speed? What governs the speed? The manufacturer will max it out at that, or can you make modifications?
Yeah, no, the U.S. firmware.
The manufacturer regulates the speed with a controller. There's a controller with it.
You shouldn't have told Al that.
No, you can
I'm going to put a supercharger on one.
Yeah, you can watch. There's tons of YouTube videos.
Yeah, you can definitely Duratify it for sure.
Most of them you have to buy different controllers to make them go faster. You can't just modify the controller that's in there.
Yeah, because
you have to get a different kind of controller.
I'm sure it's a Linux kernel again, Robbie. And they're just hacking the kernel. And somebody's putting open source on it, and then here's the source code.
Al got a RC truck one time, and he called me. He goes, "Hey, man, I got this truck. Let's go out and test it out." And it looked like he put the front of a football helmet on the front. I said, "Al, what's that for?" He said, "Impact." That was the fastest truck, 4x4 truck I had ever seen in my life. It was amazingly fast.
I'm bringing it to spin up, man. That thing is you're just bored, just throw it on the ground and hammer the throttle, man. And, you're looking for steps and jumps and anything, make it go airborne.
But I will say one thing. You go 40 miles an hour on that scooter.
Oh, scary.
That's like doing 120, 130 miles an hour in your car.
There's
a real rush to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I really love it. I really love the thrill of that.
Don't turn the handle too much.
Does it come with a Fly More pack with extra batteries and a helmet and an insurance policy?
I don't even wear a helmet.
Hey,
I don't wear a helmet. I don't wear any of those pads, those knee pads. Like you see all these guys, they look like Darth Vader with the. I don't wear any of that. I just rip. I just go.
Okay, got a question here from Lost Girl. Right here. It says, wondering about the e-bikes. Which one is better, e-bike or scooter? I bought a bike, but it keeps getting pushed on shipping date and wouldn't get it till next year, so I canceled mine.
Just go get a scooter that has a seat option. I have 2 scooters that have seats.
That's a good idea.
A nice scooter. If you want to get into this girl, Lost Girl Heights. Listen, if you want to get into a nice entry level scooter that has a seat option. Yeah, look at the Highboy Pro, the Highboy S2 Pro. Okay, it's really nice to get into because you can't get a flat. Goes about 19, 20 miles an hour. It has a seat option. You can put the seat on it. It's got a great battery. You get about 23 miles, 24 miles. Yeah, it's a great scooter, and it's like $599. Can't beat.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Hey, have you had a chance to review the off-road scooters yet? The big old pneumatic wheels with the suspension system.
I haven't messed with those yet.
They're like $1,800, man.
Oh, I've got one that was over $2,000. The 40 mile an hour one. Yeah. That was over $2,000.
Oh, they put 1,000-watt motor on it.
2,000 watts.
2,000
on that one, yeah.
On that one,
yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's the Mantis Pro. It's a monster.
It's a beast.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so if you were to retrofit one of your bikes, what e-bike motor or manufacturer would you choose to retrofit your bike?
You can almost, if you look hard enough, almost any of these bikes can be modified. So really, there's not anything I don't think that's particularly more easy than any other one.
Yeah,
you have to have some knowledge of electronics to be able to do this kind of stuff, because it's not just changing the controller and modifying the controller. You also have these battery amps you got to deal with. You have to have the amps. Can the motors handle the additional amp? So there's a lot to it. It's not just some simple thing of changing this and then this will be so much faster. You can't overload any of the other chain of the equipment. Like if you have a 500-watt motor and you're pushing out 48 amp hours through the controller, well, you can't just throw another controller on there that's going to push out 72 amp hours, because they just blow and burn the motor out. So there's other things you got to consider. But if you watch these guys on YouTube, they guide you through all of that.
Yeah, and there's so many different options too, because you could do a front wheel drive, you could do a rear wheel drive, or you could do your crank drive, because Bafang has kind of been like one of the leaders there, but the Germans make the best parts for those.
Yeah. I have one bike that has Bafang motor.
Is the Bafang rear wheel drive?
Yeah, it's it's a 750-watt motor in one of my bikes.
Gotcha. There's a German manufacturer's Ebiking, I think it is.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Exactly. E-bike flux capacitor. Exactly.
And you can actually buy that flux capacitor. Amazon does sell that.
Oh yeah, it does, and it's up in the cloud.
No, seriously, they really sell it. I don't know what it is, and it's actually in the box, but they do sell it.
Yeah, the bikes are a lot of fun. I will tell you that. I go out in the morning. I want to go fly the drone, but hey, there's 30-mile-an-hour wind. Screw it. I just hop on the bike, strap on the GoPro, and go out on the trail somewhere.
Well, here's the deal, man. I like flying this thing, and when this thing crashes, you have to. It's called the walk of shame. You have to take everything. I've done
many
off,
walks of shame,
and you have to go get it, right?
Yeah.
And one of the guys that I fly with somebody threw away this little motorcycle in the dump, and he picked it up, brought it home, fixed it, and now that sits where we fly. So whenever you now crash, you jump on this little thing. It's electric little. It looks like a little enduro bike, right? And you just ride and get it. It's so much easier. Like you were saying, Brian, just get on the bike and hit the gas and go get it.
Now, I have found lots and lots and lots of places to shoot nice drone videos by being out on these trails. Okay, I've actually made a couple, but I'm just memorizing all these spots for next year when I go out and really take advantage of that. Because out there on these wooded trails, you take these scooters out and you just drive around and go, oh man, look at that'd be a great spot. And there's a great spot here. There's a great spot there. I have found tons of great spots out on these trails.
Well, one of the things that I've found out, once you start FPVing heavily, right? Once you move into the 5-inch, 6-inch, 7-inch drones that you make yourself, or you could, get the bind and fly, right? Or plug and play, or whatever you want, PMP or BNP. Anyway, when you put on the goggles and you finally get it, the throttle management and the relationship to everything you do with the sticks, and then when you're walking around in the park, you're always looking like, oh, there's a gap. Oh, there's another gap. And there's another really cool gap that I can hit right here in this park. So I'll save that for later and then come back and explore it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot to share. I've been flying my little Peanut. Maybe I'll focus.
Yep. Let me get in here, Al. Hold on.
And it is so nice, guys. It really is nice.
Who makes that camera?
It's a Caddx product line. And here's the interface. You just pull it right off. And this is a magnetic. And so this is how you get all your videos off here. Got 30-minute record time. And it is a good product. I've been having issues with the studio, though. You have to use 360 Studio to use Insta360 Studio for editing.
Is that the Insta360, the new one, the two?
It is a Caddx Vista especially designed for drones that it came with. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Yeah, so it comes with this interface, Brian. Let me show it to you. So this end right here.
Okay.
The little connector.
Yeah.
I wired it into my flight controller right here.
Right.
And then I just plug it in right there.
Right.
And then I could then use the flight controller to power on and off the camera.
Right. Okay. All right.
Okay. And it was designed by FPV Flyers for FPV.
Yeah.
So thank goodness Caddx Vista. Caddx is now doing a lot of that for us. So
I got that the Insta360 Go, the little camera.
Yeah, you love it?
The first one.
Yeah.
I was kind of really disappointed with that thing.
Really?
I didn't buy the second one. I was disappointed with the first one, so that 5-minute limit, I just wasn't digging that.
Yeah, this is 30 minutes.
Right.
30
well, yeah.
30 minutes. 5 minutes.
So,
I couldn't handle 5 minutes.
Plus, that thing got so damn hot in that 5 minutes. I know why they made the limit 5 minutes, because it would melt if it went 6 minutes. If it went 1 more minute, that sucker was melting. Okay, so they cut it off at 5 minutes.
So they also come with ND filters. I lost one of them already on one of my flights. I better get in the queue and start buying it, because these things have been sold out for like a month. You can't get them. So I was watching Nerk's premiere on this, and I was like, man, I'm all in on that, because that fits my, my flying.
Now, do you have that DJI FPV thing?
I do, and I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And I use it in a different way than most people use it. If I want to go smash into things, I take this, because all these parts that I put on here are designed to break when I crash. And this is 6mm arms, so they're really thick arms. So this thing could take a beating, and I made 2 of these, so I have 2 of these exact same thing on same components and everything. And so I fly the FPV by more like a plane, Brian, than a quad. And hey, Robbie, when you get a chance, do you mind putting Brian on too? Thanks, man.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
Yay.
I got tired of looking at myself.
Well, I've been teaching some new students how to fly drones.
Yeah, it's gonna be good video, Robbie. Tell us about it.
You've got to check out my new students. Let me find them here.
I'm gonna. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So I went out to Amish country, man. They love the drone.
Yeah.
Did you just park there and waited for them to ride by in their wagon?
No, I parked there and was flying around, and they approached me because they wanted to see it. They said, "It's a drone. Let it see." So we spent an hour talking and explaining how the drone works and everything else, and they were just blown away. So one of my next videos for my Travel Tech 360 is actually going to be about Amish country, and it's amazing some of the stuff that I got.
I think I saw Jedediah over there.
Hey, you know what they said? They said, "Hey, if I had one of these, I could check my food plots out where I feed the deer for hunt season."
Yeah, that would be cool, right? Hey, Greg Pittman, thanks for joining. JSK Enterprises, thanks for joining, man. Thanks for having you all here. And yeah, guys, it's always a blast having Brian on here because he don't hold back much, right, guys? So
Hey,
that's a good thing.
let's really quick. Let's talk about two things that DJI are coming out with.
Oh,
That,
of course.
yeah, let's throw a little DJI fanboy stuff in here real quick.
Okay.
I'm a big GoPro fan. I have all the GoPros, the 9, 8, 7, but I didn't buy this 10 because I'm interested in this new Osmo Action 2. This camera looks like it might be nice. You know, did you notice this thing, Al? This little two-piece.
The two-piece, yeah, I was looking at that.
Thing.
Yeah.
And it looked, and I saw the somebody opened the box and I saw the picture and it's got that same medallion that you can, the magnetic medallion for your neck, like the 360 Go does. You know, that's
so
the
you
only
don't.
thing that was about the 360 Go was that little magnetic medallion you could hang around your neck. Well, that DJI Action 2 looks like it's going to have the same thing. So I'm interested in that camera. Now, the Mavic 3, I'm not going to buy. I'm telling you that right now. Because I think
What's holding you back?
I think it's going to be very expensive.
Oh, that we know of. It's probably $200 a battery, kind of like the DJI FPV drone. You know, I think they're what 100.
Well, I think my Evo 2 batteries are $200 a piece.
Yeah, I know. You know, DJI hasn't even announced the Action 2 yet. Who's got the? That just dropped offline for a second. Oh wow, we're frozen.
You're fine.
Audio test. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Ooh, Robbie, pixelating on my end. Am I pixelating on your end?
No, you're fine.
No, I see you fine, Al.
Okay, I just wondering.
Yeah. It sounded like Robbie was lost in space.
Yeah, and Brian, you got froze, but I think we're all back now.
Yeah, I think it's okay now. I think it's all right.
Yeah, so let's talk about
that. Chinese. That was the Chinese.
Yeah, you can't be bad mouthing them.
we were talking about Alibaba, so they were going to shut us down.
Yeah, exactly.
Ali Shamao. Wow.
Peace be to Allah.
Yeah,
no, we don't need no terrorists. Nothing happening here. We're all peaceful.
We're talking DJI, man, not Hubson.
Yeah, okay, so I think it's going to be.
Oh, hell, man.
I think
that's pretty bad, Al.
That needs to be like $2,000.
You okay, Robbie? Yeah,
Me
and you are, but I can't hear Brian at all.
Dropping. Yeah, Brian's dropping.
I think that is going to be like $2,000.
It's almost there. Almost there. It's coming.
Yeah, he's
back,
talking
Robbie.
about the DJI being $2,000.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. That's one thing about DJI products are so good, but the FCC's definitely got their crosshairs on DJI. There's no doubt about it.
They're going to make.
Here's the deal. The FBI and the Secret Service bought a fleet of them. You idiots! Why would you do that? Do you know they're going to send all the logs over? But get this. There could be a lot of disinformation going on that way, too.
They're going to be a deal. They're going to make a deal. Don't worry.
Yeah, they'll make the deal. It's going to be a cash deal, man. No doubt about it. I'll do it.
I think DJI is going to have to give them a bit. So.
Yeah, I don't like the idea that somebody makes decisions. You know, look at cigarettes for years. Everybody knows they cause cancer, but they give people the choice to do it. You know.
Right.
So DJI is doing this, so, under what? To protect us and our country? I don't know. I mean, don't we have engineers good enough to look through and say what can be done and what can't? Alter it where they can't send certain information.
Well, the argument that I keep hearing, which I think is total crapola, is that DJI sends all our video back to China and they can look at our infrastructure. All they have to do is look on friggin' Google Earth and look at the information.
Yeah.
What the hell do they need to go and look through our friggin' footage for?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I don't even understand that argument.
It could be
that.
well, it could be a ground.
I mean, I could go on
surveillance,
Google Earth right now and look in downtown Shanghai right now. Right now.
I know, and see what cars are there.
Right. So I don't understand very few things in the United States are blocked out on the Google, like Area 51 and, some of this stuff in Tennessee. And then there's a little thing over in this way. But very few places are blacked out on Google Earth. You can basically go almost anywhere in the world.
Agreed. And you could do the 3D street view too. So.
Right. So I don't understand this. Oh, DJI's drones are sending back data to China for our infrastructure. They can just look on the satellite and see the infrastructure.
What about Google?
Yeah. What about Google?
Well, the planes are the same way, but we've talked about this several times. I didn't think very much. I was downtown flying over a commercial building, and all of a sudden a helicopter within a minute was on top of me, had no warning, and I didn't realize it was a different frequency. So that's not going to help DJI. They don't have anything hooked in with our military through this.
Right.
They do.
They can see planes.
They have a component. The government can persuade any company in China to be used for espionage. That's in their mandate. They can persuade any Chinese company to do anything they want.
Right. Well, no, they just order them to. If you don't do it, you go to the gallows.
Yeah.
They don't play around over there.
No, you get a new CEO.
Fair trial. Okay, they don't have fair trial. Okay, it's you do it. If you don't, we execute you. See you later.
I'll tell you what happened in Thailand. They had a guy that left a bad review over about a hotel stay that he went in, and he brought like some of his own alcohol with him and drank it. And there was a big argument about when you get in there, you got to pay for so many drinks. And he got in an argument with the people that run the place and got online and made a bad comment. They locked his butt up in jail, and he had to pay a lot of money to get out. When you get locked up over there, it ain't like you post bail and go home. They keep your butt until you pay. They take that passport.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not the same deal. It's a totally different animal.
But it's about money, though. Because over there,
about money.
You can pay and you can get out of stuff. So you have to tread softly when you live in those countries.
Yeah, the thing about here, you have, legal crime is what I call it. All you have to do is get elected, change your rules, and make them your rules. And
right.
That's how we do it in this country. Okay, you get large enough group, and you change the laws to satisfy what you guys are trying to achieve, and there it is. It's no longer a crime, and it's now legal. That's how we do it. In Guatemala, in Central America, as you know, Robbie, they just do it. They don't care.
Yeah, it's funny because in Costa Rica, I was there for 9 years. They have two police. They have the traffic police that will sit in the road with a car. They have no radar gun, and they will stop and look at your sticker, and you can go on. You can drive down the road, and you can have a policeman in front of you, which is like the city domestic police. You can pass them at 180 miles an hour sideways, sliding with your radio, but they can't touch you. They're not traffic. They can't do it. There's nothing they can do. So there's really no rules.
That's the way it should be.
Well, years ago, it was like the government has made a way to make money, especially the Commonwealth states. We'll just make a rule. That's right. how they fund everything.
Yeah. Well,
I know.
It's what it is. We got these rules here, and we're going to have to deal with them, and the rules are going to get stricter. I mean, we just got to be ready for this. People got to be ready for this. These rules are going to change in another year or so, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't. And then, like I told you guys last week when I was flying that Mini 2 out, and it stopped, and it said, come back or land, to me, that was like, come back and land or else we're going to land this sucker. That's what that seemed like, that message. So I hurried up and turned around and floored it. I had it in sport mode, and I'm floored it because I'm over a river, right? I don't want it to just self-land. Okay, now that was a Mini 2, so that was under the limit.
Right.
So they're doing this with all of the drones.
Yep.
Agreed.
Drones, even you're not going to be protected. You're not going to be able to do anything you want just because you got a sub 250 gram drone.
Yeah.
No, I tell you what, I tried to fly my FEMI Mini in Norfolk in the beach area, close to a place I shouldn't have been close to, but I didn't know any better because I was a visitor. So I put it up in the air on the beach, and it looked okay. Everything hovered fine. Everything. I did my camera adjustments, and I started to fly. And whenever I turned the stick one way, it went a different way. And whenever I turned the stick the other way, everything was like scrambled on my controller. So somebody was scrambling my signal, and literally it took off and started taking off, man. And I'm like, okay, this is supposed to be throttle, but oh my gosh, it's now y'all. So I basically crashed it into a dune on purpose so it wouldn't fly away. Because once, I did the auto takeoff, it just sat there, and I was like, oh, it looks good, it's solid, I'm happy, it's not doing any toilet bowling. So as soon as I hit the throttle to go forward, it went up. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. One thing that I did notice when that happened last week with the Mini 2, one thing I noticed is that on the map, when I looked down to the screen to look at the warnings, I clicked on the map screen, and the map screen came up. It's usually in the corner, in that lower left-hand corner. But if you touch it, it'll expand to the whole screen. Well, they have it all in these colors. So okay, well, this dark yellow is somewhere you shouldn't be going. Okay, you have to stay in the beige. As long as you stay in the beige, you're not going to, for the DJI, I don't know what it is for Autel or whatever.
Right.
But for the DJI, it's the beige is where you want to stay. If you start creeping into the dark yellow, you're going to get a warning. So
yeah, it's changing.
If anybody hasn't noticed that, that's what you're looking at. The colors will tell you.
Yeah.
They got it all color coded now.
When I flew downtown and it popped up those 3 questions, do you have permission, this and that? And I was like, well, whose permission? The property owner I'm on. So I thought, hey, I can see around this little screen. Screw it. I'll just go up a little bit, move forward, and take pictures. So as I tried to move it up, another message popped up, and it said, if you do not submit to fly, you could go into hover mode. We will put you in hover mode. It said that, where it won't move. And I was like, yeah, if it lands on the top of this building, I'll never get it. So I went ahead and did that. But I thought I could see through it because it's kind of transparent. And then it gave me a warning and let me know, and I don't know whether they've got it set up on a timer where DJI automatically, if you don't ask to fly, would get in hover mode. But I have heard of people out where you live. I went out and flew at one of the high schools, and there's a detention center next to it. When I went to take off, it said, you're too close to a detention center. You can't fly here. The high school was right beside it, but it said we could put you in hover mode. And I was like, well, I don't want to play with no hovers.
Yeah. Well,
a battery die.
In a couple of weeks, I have a plan on taking this trail, this Allegheny Passage Trail, down the river, down to downtown Pittsburgh. And I'm going to stop on the other side of the river of the Allegheny County Jail. Okay, so I'm going to take the drone up, and I'm just going to inch my way over toward the jail, because I know these jails are protected. Okay, I know they are, but I want to see what happens if I get a little bit close to the jail. I'm very curious to see what is going to come up on the screen.
Take an extra cell phone so you can call us to come get you out. When Al flies and says, hey, let's fly that drone, I look in the box and he's got 3 different cell phones. Hell, I don't even know what goes to what.
But I am going to try it, because that's another spot I found when I was on the trails. I said, I can come back here. This is about 2 miles to downtown Pittsburgh.
Oh, perfect, man.
To the point. So I want to do that and take that sucker off across the river, because it's, it's like 3,000 feet or more to where that is to where the jail is. So I don't expect anything happen as soon as I take off and start heading there. I don't think something's going to happen right away. But as I get within 1,000 feet or so, I'm expecting something to happen.
Just be on the lookout for those jammers, man. They'll jam signals.
Yeah.
So they might have jammers because, as you know, most of our, really high-ranking government officials, they travel with those freaking jammers, man.
Yeah.
So they have that bubble following them around. So just be careful of that one. Just be ready to freaking hightail it back.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll send one of my just regular
cheapos.
minis.
Not your
one
favorite.
Of my regular minis. Maybe I won't send the mini too, just the regular mini.
Yeah, I would take your favorite for sure.
Yeah, I'll take the regular. I have 2 regular minis, and then I have the mini too. So I'll take the regular mini and sacrifice one of them.
I would, right?
Yeah, I'll take the one that has like 120 flights on it. So just in case it jams it and sinks it or something. So it won't be a total loss.
Well,
that flew into water and every damn thing. It's still going.
Yeah, so we got a lot of folks still in here, man. Thanks for dropping by. So what do we got for next week, guys? I think it's an open week, right? So we're going to be announcing who we're going to be having as a guest next week. Brian, you've been a wonderful guest tonight, man.
Well,
Thanks for joining us, man. It's and I'm planning to get up to Pittsburgh, man. I'm going to definitely hook up with you, go up there and put the cameras in like 250 frames a second and strap you down on that scooter and see how fast you can get it, man.
Yeah, maybe if you come out, I could let you fly my Phantom 1. I have one.
You were the white. You remember you had to put the GoPro on it, and FPV was the freaking Wi-Fi from the Phantom. Remember that?
I got the Phantom 1. I still have it.
You had to mount that GoPro on it and Wi-Fi to the GoPro. And that was your FPV, man.
Yeah.
And it was the quirkiest son of a gun ever.
But one thing it does really well is flies the Insta360 1X.
Oh, is that
That's
because
the best one that I found for that? That Insta360 1X, that thing just plays hell with any drone I put that on. I have never had any luck using that thing on a drone. It always makes the drones act crazy. I don't know why. It did it.
Probably stepping on dirty signal, huh?
Did it Mavic Pro. I did it on the Evo. It made them all act crazy. So even the Inspire, I put it on the Inspire, which can carry a lot of weight, and it made the Inspire act all kinds of nuts.
That's one of the things that we've been discovering. I know Robbie is the one that's done the research on that side, is that the Inspire is not as good as the Matrix as far as shielding from electronic signals.
Yeah.
So the Matrix is shielded really well, apparently, from.
Well, the GPS, keep in mind that the 600 Pro has got 3 GPSs on it. So if you get it, people use them for power lines, and a lot of people use them for Coliseum work when they're testing the sound systems up in the top of the Coliseum, because they have a mic that they make a mount that that goes on the top, a microphone, and they'll fly it up and do sound checks, and it doesn't affect it at all.
No.
I tell you, they make that's a really good product. I mean, they're big products for sure. Yeah. Let's see. What's on the agenda for this week for you, Robbie?
Well, I am trying to get some stuff together, and I'm going to talk about my Travel Tech 360 for a second. I am going to announce sometime probably the first week of November, I'm going to have my first live stream on Travel Tech 360. It's going to be, half of it is going to be live stream. The second half is going to be a virtual drone auction. So if you have a drone, GoPro, action cam, anything having to do, maybe a laptop that you're doing editing for that you want to sell, you can email images and the price you're wanting for this to world@worlddronecommunity.com. We're going to take that and put it on the website. We're actually going to put it up, and everybody bid whatever the prices are. And if it meets what the seller wants for it, we're going to put you in direct connection with the seller, and you and the seller work out payment. We're not doing any payment. It's just that we have so many of us guys that are selling older stuff to buy new stuff, and most of us know each other. So it's better than buying something off eBay and paying a fee to somebody you don't know. So, so it'll be the first week, and we're trying to find the best time slot because we got a few live streams these days. So we're trying not to step on anybody, but we want people to come in. We've got 8 people already that have equipment that have sent in the information to sell it. So we're going to have that on the second part of the live stream. And then in 2 weeks after that, we're going to do the same live stream auction on QC Guys channel. So we're going to do it bi-weekly. So that's kind of up all that I'm doing on my end. Al, what's going on with your channel and everything?
Well, a lot of stuff's going on, but I've basically just been doing the Xeno Mini reviews and the Peanut reviews. I mean, I actually got some really fabulous video with the Peanut. A little frustrated on editing the video of the Peanut. So if anybody has any tricks, drop me a note. Let me know what you guys are using to edit your not Insta360. This is the Peanut from Cadix. Go ahead.
You know, Al, I want to ask you, because Al's been working on this design. If I don't know who has not heard yet, we've made a couple little announcements. We have acquired a trailer for World Drone Community. We want to wrap it in World Drone Community wrap, and we want to put all you guys' logos all over the trailer. It's an 18-foot trailer. We're going to use it for events in the U.S. and on the Canadian border. So if you have an event, what we'll do is we'll get you the trailer for the event. You can sell all your merch out of it. All we ask is the merchandise that's in there for World Drone Community, you display our stuff too, and we're going to donate that trailer to anybody that's having an event. We'll see that we get it to you, or if we have to meet you halfway to pick the trailer up. It's going to have heat and air in it, so it can be used year-round. I want a soda machine in it because I don't have to drive down the road during an event and get a Coke. I want to have my stuff in there, and we're going to have it all decked out. We're looking for design ideas. Al's been working on some designs. I'm lost. So if you guys have an idea on how we can put all this together and actually put everybody's logo on there, we want to incorporate all you guys' channels and your live streams in this great big trailer. So when we go to these events, we can work off of each other on a marketing level. So
hey, Robbie,
I'm going to show an image here of something that Al kind of put together.
Yeah, I was going to say,
go ahead.
While you're talking, let me share it for you. Did I share it? Oh, no, you're going to share it. All right, so I just did this mock-up, but Robbie, continue on, buddy. I just wanted to interrupt to say that we could put this
okay, well, here's our plan. We've not designated exactly what we're going to do on color-wise yet. We have some ideas. We're going to put a rack on the top, give us a little place to sit up there and fly some FPVs and some GPSs on the top. Where it says World Drone Community, we're going to have it cut open, and there'll be a swinging door that's going to be able to lift up. That way, during events, people can come in. You know, we sell a lot of merch. You know, a lot of you guys know we print our own shirts. A lot of you YouTubers are already buying shirts from us where we're helping market you. So that's what this trailer is going to be for. It's a brand new trailer, even though it's got a low tire because it's been sitting a while. We are building out the inside. Out the inside. This is a really nice trailer, so we want to have it set up on the inside where we've got a widescreen. So when the back drops out, we're going to have a huge widescreen that opens up. So when we're at events, you guys can do live streams and use the equipment. It will be decked out with everything you need to be able to. So give us some ideas on how you guys think that we need to design it logo-wise, and anything that you think that you would put in it if you were to build it for yourself, and give us some ideas. We can do this. Now, we cannot have this trailer ready for the sixth event in this next month, but it's possible we could have it ready for the South Florida drone meet if we can get everything done. We're going to put solar panels on it. Give us, we'll have plenty of power in there. So y'all give us some input on what y'all like, what your ideas are. You can email any design or ideas to world@worlddronecommunity.com and just send them all in. I'll look through them, make the decisions on what needs to go where. But we want to include all you guys. I don't care if you got 10 subs, or if you got 20,000 subs, if you're a part of our community and you're bringing people into the drone, we want to be able to support you. So please send us your logos. All you guys, just email your logos in. Al, I'm going to let you take over from here.
Yeah, I mean, kind of dovetailing the same conversation. I'm thinking, if we pick one of your designs, you probably going to get some free marketing on our trailer. So we'll definitely have a chance to have your logo on the trailer as we're showcasing.
Yeah, and we may pick out 2 or 3 winners. Maybe we'll pick out 3 winners, and with that, we'll give 3 gifts. And then with that, we'll take a vote. We don't want to be able to make all the decisions because me and Al are World Drone Community. We are here because of you guys. And our job is to try to help promote you like you've promoted us and help you with what you're doing with your channels, with your marketing. If you're buying, I know a lot of you guys buy stuff from Teespring. A lot of you guys, Johnny, Doc Murdoch, I mean, all these people, we make hats for them. We make shirts for them. They're high quality. They're good prices. We're keeping our money in the group between us. So we want to help you guys. There's nothing attached to it that's going to cost anything. We want your ideas, and we just want to push out your logos for your channels. So please send that to world@worlddronecommunity.com. And that's my bit on the trailer.
Yeah, I was just reading and laughing Bob Casey's Ariel's comment. It says, World Drone Community flies the world. I like it. I had to caption like, who paid for that trailer? Just curious. You know what?
Yeah, who paid for the trailer? Santa Claus gave it to us.
Yeah, Uncle Sam, We have a rich uncle. Oh, that's cool. Thank Robbie World Drone Community helping everybody out. For sure it is. It sure is. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, we really help. I mean, it's hard to design this.
Yeah, and I have another design in the works.
Go ahead, Al.
Pretty good. Yeah, I have another design in the works. I'll put it together for everybody to see here in a little bit. But guys, let's see. What am I doing? Oh, I'm doing manual versus automatic camera settings on the Xeno Mini Pro. The Xeno Mini Pro is got a freaking nice camera. Brian, you know what the camera looks like to me? It reminds me of the Skydio camera. It's really that good.
Yeah.
That little Hubsan Mini, it's really, that Hubsan Xeno Mini, it's a good camera. So I've been putting it through the paces.
I watched a couple of your mini videos today about the waypoints and all that.
No, thanks, man. Yeah.
I thought the waypoints on the original Xeno were okay.
Yeah, and agreed. It's kind of easy to program them, But I have my phone dexterity or something is bad, but it takes me a little while.
I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, nothing beats the Parrot software for waypoints. Nothing beats that. Okay.
Yeah.
But the Xeno is not bad. It's not bad.
No, and it flies great. It flies a long time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Mini 2. I'm telling you, those two are very comparable.
Yeah.
And obviously, the maturity of the DJI Mini 2 is going to, in reliability, is probably going to beat the Hubsan. But again, like our discussion earlier, Brian and Robbie, it is good to see that we have competition out there with that Xeno Mini Pro being a very good choice.
Yeah. What about the Fimi Mini?
The Fimi Mini, it just has production problems. 50% of the people that get them get horrible drones.
Right.
I got a good one.
They've had a huge return rate.
Yeah, and it's just quality control issue.
Right.
And Hubsan seems to, they delayed delivery for an extra 2 months. And I got to tell you, they stood up behind the product because they sent me a bag and an extra battery and a charging hub. They sent me those 3 things that I did not pay for. And I'm good. And they gave me, I don't know, what is it called? Refresh care for 2 years.
Right.
So
get out there and start crashing.
Yeah, do what you always do.
what do you
Stay
waiting
away from the water.
Right. Hey, go get on that favorite bridge of yours where you like to make all those videos.
Yeah, right. The
That
Skydio 2
Skydio.
almost been.
Hey, I'll never forget that Skydio video.
Just, whoa! Nothing. Dude, I thought it was gone, man. I was $1,000 gone, but it did die like 3 days later in the same river. Except for I had tons of witnesses to what happened.
Look,
Yeah.
I've got Brian's link below, everybody, and I'm going to try to figure out one day how we can put links on here where you guys can copy and paste, because I know you guys aren't writing it down. But here's his link for his YouTube
okay,
channel. Go there. If you've not subscribed, subscribe. Yeah, but that's the whole point of having our guest on. We want to learn from you guys, and we want to try to help promote you. So, guys, there's his link. Take a screenshot or whatever you need to do. That'll take you over to his channel. And other than that, we're running about 17 minutes over right now, so we need to need to wrap it up here. We've done good. I think saw about 32 people in the chat total. We got 23 in there now, so
Brian,
I think we did really good. So that's all I've got.
All right, man. Thanks, Brian. Great
That
time
it, Al?
hanging out with you. That's
right.
it, Robbie. Great time.
Thanks for having me, Al. Thanks for having me, Rob. Nice to meet you.
Okay. We'll